Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, we are talking Dunlingr. Now, I completely missed it on Global. I've been so busy between my two accounts. I didn't realize that they actually dropped him on the same day as Nara until about like 12 hours into the day. I decided to wait and see if anyone did some testing so that I could get some results because this guy is an interesting one. I want to talk about him specifically, and then I also want to talk about the general priority of Celestial Hypergeans and what I would and am doing personally based on the current situation in the game. So first of all, let's bounce over and talk about Dunlingr. Now, in general, for free-to-play, unfortunately, I didn't get to do any more recording of this guy over on the beefed-up test server that they gave us before it ended. But essentially, for this guy, for free-to-play players especially, I think he's an easy skip. This guy is a PvP specialist, and he is damn good at PvP. However, as I mentioned in my previous video, if you saw that one, when I was talking about Nara, and I went through the priorities inside the game, currently in the game, the most impactful category to summon a character for is going to be the Dream Realm. It's just unfairly weighted in the rewards that you get, so it has to take highest priority if we're talking purely on meta sense. If you just want to have a hero to dominate PvP, then this guy is going to be a fantastic one to go in and summon. Now, if you are going for this guy due to his tankiness and being an actual tank and normally wanting to sit front row, then you're gonna want to probably take him all the way to Supreme Plus for that purpose. But once again, because we've got other heroes that are more viable in the Dream Realm and stuff like that, I just don't think this guy gets a priority, even though he is a top tier PvP unit. Now, I want to quickly touch on why that is in case you haven't watched my previous spotlight video on him. We'll just go through briefly. So basically, he has two different spells that he can cast, two different bells of order. He's got Spellbind or Cure Lock, and if you do the Spellbind one, which is the yellow one, which can be seen in combat, unfortunately I can't show you guys because I don't have him on this account, but you can go check my previous video from the test server if you want to know intimately how he works. But essentially, when you put him on Spellbind, which is a toggle you can have on him before the battle starts, no one's going to be able to use their ultimates except for one ally who is furthest away from him, who gets immunity to it. So no one on the battlefield at all, including your allies, except for that one, is immune to it. So it gives you just complete lockout of ultimates. It is a incredibly powerful PvP ability. But the other one that you can do is Cure Lock, where it blocks all healing on the battlefield. Now, this is the awkward thing for him, and this is why he doesn't really work too well in AFK stages or in Dream Realm bossing, because he is doing this negative effect to your teammates as well, except for one of them. So that means if we go into Dream Realm, you're either not your team's not going to be using ultimates, or your team's not going to be receiving healing. Now, it's only while the bell's up, and for the first time he uses the bell, I believe it's 12 seconds, then every time he uses his ult, it's up for 6 seconds as well. But it's a long window where you either don't have healing or don't have ultimates, which are very vital to all of that. Now, I do believe in the future someone might find a team in either Dream Realm or AFK stage pushing where he actually works. Like, the timing's okay, you still get everything you off, and maybe he brings enough because he does heavily buff that one ally. Because if we go here, the exclusive equipment, he protects the farthest non-summoned ally, ensuring that they are affected by and are not affected by his order until the ally is defeated, and also gives them extra attack and haste, which is huge. And then this one, upon casting Echo of Silence, which is his ultimate, he grants all allies 50 attack speed for 6 seconds if he has the Spellbind order. So this is where it's quite interesting, because he could be a really nice buffer for especially a focused damage dealer like a Lily May in Endless Mode, but we won't know until we get there whether he will actually function at it. And I mean, at the end of the day, even if he is, the great thing is we can just say, hey, he's kind of worth pulling now. And then he's always going to be there as an option. It's not like the limited banners that go away. So I do think he does have some great buffing capabilities for a single ally, but the problem is he brings too much of a downside. But like I said, eventually someone may work something out that can work around that. Now, as for the single copy viability, I just think single copy viability is non-existent. It was something that I've seen people theorize. Like I said, I waited a day before going into this because I wanted to see if anyone tested it and found anything out. But the fact that this ability here comes from his Mythic Plus, his exclusive equipment, protects the farthest non-summoned ally, ensuring that they are not affected by his order until the ally is defeated. And it gives the buffs. And this is the other buffs he gives, which is at Supreme Plus. So effectively, the one cheesiness you have with this guy in PvP is that you have an ally who can still ult, But when you don't even have that effect, plus he's going to be squishy and die straight away, you're better off just running something like a Lily May to interrupt a pesky ultimate and then keep going. So like I said, one copy of this guy, I just don't think is going to cut it. I haven't seen anyone with a viable version. If someone does come up with a strategy that is viable at one copy, once again, I will let you guys know. Like I said, it is still early days for testing all this stuff. But in general, I think this guy is more focused on the PvP, and to get him to work in PvP, you need to have him maxed. So that makes him sort of a Giga Whale unit. But if you are someone who really does love PvP and you want to be able to dominate some PvP, then he is a good option. Keep in mind, Scarlita is another big unit that goes with him, and the other big unit that goes with him is going to be DNL. So you're looking at a 3 Celestial God team, which is absolutely insane, and that's why I said this guy is definitely whale meta material, and that's what we're looking at. So that is my general thoughts around him. Free to play, easy skip in my opinion. Keep finishing off whoever you're close to finish, if you're close to finishing someone, or you can go ahead and wait for the next hypo, which I'm assuming the next Celestial Hyper Gen is going to be a Hyper Gen, and we can wait and see what they're like, and hopefully we get one that's good at bossing, because I've saved up a ton of resources. Now, as for the priority, as I said, this guy doesn't really fall into the priority. And currently, I am on both of my accounts saving for the next one. My test server account, I think I can get about 6 copies. My main account, I think I'm up to about 7 copies that I can get between my pities on summons and also my guild coins, my guild's points. So that is what I am personally doing. And the reason that I recommend saving as an option, now don't get me wrong, if you're like at, say, 2 copies away from Rainier being at Mythic Plus, finish off your Rainier. If you've been building Freyesto and you're like 1 or 2 copies away from Mythic Plus, same with Taylene, same with anything on here. If you're really close to having something built to a point that they're functional, obviously keep finishing them. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to save. 2 reasons. I'm going to save so we can see what the next Hyper Gen hero is, in case they are a meta-defining hero. Then I still have my savings. And also, the other thing we got to consider, we are still in the pre-endless mode phase of bossing. And endless mode is where the majority of the season is going to be spent when we look to bossing, and that is where you're going to probably want to pull on. And because this season has changed with all the different artifacts, but also all the different charms, and we don't no longer have the seasonal skills, but the seasonal skills are kind of baked into the magic charms, we got to wait and see how the magic charms impact each of these Celestial Hyper Gens in the bossing in the endless mode. And that's why, for me, I still think the Rainier to Mythic Plus is a safe option, especially now that we see him being really good on the Orson fight, because his ultimate can also is a long stun, quote unquote stun effect that reduces all the stacks, and obviously Rainier's just good in general. Still the best free to play option. Just get him to Mythic Plus, that's all you need, and then you're pretty much cooking from there. I do think he is still probably the best option for free to play, but if you already have him built and you haven't started building anything else, I would kind of wait and see, because it wouldn't surprise me if Taylene leapfrogged Freyesto this season in being good at Dream Realm, and then it wouldn't surprise me if Scarlita is just not in the Dream Realm at all, whereas she was one of the best units in a bunch of fights last Dream Realm because of her seasonal skills. So once again, the things we really need to wait and see before I give you like a firm priority on Celestial Hyper Gens is once we get to Endless Mode and the impact that the magic charms have, and also the new seasonal artifacts, if they impact the way we're going to play, and also all the new heroes that we get along the way. If they change the meta, if the 4 factions hero we get change the meta, it may bring other heroes into the spotlight to be used more functionally. We've just got to wait and see where it ends up, and that is why I'm not going to make an updated priority list for them, because once again, I think it's just one of those things. I'm going to reassess it once we start seeing endless mode results and people start loading up on the magic charms, getting those abilities, because the abilities, some of them are quite cracked. So that is my summary on Dunlingr and Celestial Hyper Gens in general at the start of this season. And as always, guys, let me know if you guys have any opinions, if you've tested a single copy Dunlingr, if you found, like, even if you got a maxed Dunlingr and you're finding a good AFK stage team for him or a good bossing team for him, I am definitely keen to hear it, because once again, this is early days. I'm just giving you guys the best information that I have. But once again, for free to play especially, easy skip on this bad boy. If you're a Giga Whale and you want to compete in PvP still, you're probably going to need him. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.